Hey, what's going on, guys? Appreciate you stopping by. It's going to talk a little bit about the Strait of Hormuz and what information we're getting out from the quote-unquote deal that has been put into place. I just want to say for the record that I certainly hope that everything is on the up and up, and that things go well and this gets put behind us and we can move forward. However, I just want to draw some caution, and I don't know how much people are paying attention, but I just want to draw caution because there are so many signs pointing that this agreement, this stay, if you will, there's just a lot of problems, and it could fall apart. I hope it doesn't, but there's a lot of ramblings from Israeli sources and even Iran. There's conflicting information being reported, what they're saying about the deal and the agreement versus what the United States is saying. And it almost seems like this agreement was publicized, put in place, really just to drive the financial markets and to quell and calm down the citizens. Basically to shut people up. I don't know. I'm going to continue to remind everyone that watches this channel that I pay attention to what is happening in the news, with the news. I think that it's a good idea just to be aware of what's going on in the world, as well as locally in your state and in your country, because, if you pay attention to the news, if you pay attention to what is happening, to the extent at which you could believe what you're hearing, you could get some warning, some foreshadowing of something that could impact you. And guess what? You might hear something positive. For example, many states have tax-free holidays, especially around when it's time to go back to school. So if you pay attention and you hear that, this weekend there's not going to be any state sales tax, well, maybe that's a time to go and make a purchase. There are states out there that do Second Amendment tax-free holidays, and you can go buy ammunition and firearms with no tax. Granted, depending upon how much you spend, it's not a ton of money, but as I often say, pennies make dollars, dollars make real money. So it's a piece of the puzzle. But I'm bringing up and giving this small update, and I cannot predict what's going to happen regarding the Middle East. I just feel like it's not over. Of course, I could be wrong. I feel like that we could end up seeing more shenanigans. So we've certainly had a reprieve on fuel prices, and what's amazing is a lot of people are celebrating the fact that maybe in their area gasoline has dropped under $4 a gallon. Where I'm at, it's still hovering around $4. Some places it's over. Some places it's like $3.99, $3.99.9. So it's we're not out of the woods yet, but it's amazing how the powers that be, or shouldn't be, have people celebrating what is still extremely high gas prices. It blows my mind. We were down correct me if I'm wrong, but we were down, it's $2 and something in 2025. And we got people celebrating, hey, it dropped under $4. That's still way too high. Is it ever going to drop down to where it was before? Let's just say between $2 and $2.50. I don't know. I have my doubts. I did have somebody over on Substack wrote something up saying that they felt like fuel and food prices would never return to where they were in early 2025, and I agreed totally with that. Fuel, I think there's a chance. I think there's absolutely a chance that could happen. But the food manufacturers, distributors, and sellers are not going to voluntarily, when they have seen that consumers are willing to pay the money, they're not going to drop the prices down. As a whole, you may see individual things. You may see beef prices drop. You may see some chicken prices drop. But overall, by percentage, I think it's going to keep going up. And so the message from all that, of course, is uncertainty. I continue to say we live in a world that is growing more uncertain day by day. And with that is the reason to prepare. Whether you're in a small apartment or you live in the woods of Maine on a small homestead or a big homestead, look at what you use on a daily basis and work diligently to stock up to provide a cushion and a barrier in case there's some kind of interruption, either financially or supplies. And I mentioned before, I'm going to be doing a video on just getting started into preparedness. And I'm going to work on that. I should have that within the next week or so. Because there's a lot of folks that are beginning to realize that the world that they grew up in, depending upon their age, the world they grew up in is gone. And it's not coming back. And there's some dark times ahead. And they feel the need to get ready, especially if they have children. They feel the need to get ready. And I want to put out a video. I know there's a lot of videos on YouTube already, but I want to put a video out giving my perspective with an emphasis on being budget friendly, because I'm on a budget just like most people, and we need to continue to prepare the best we can, even though we're on a budget. So anyways, I appreciate you guys stopping by. Just a quick video update today. You guys stay safe, take care. We'll see you next time.
So I ran from the cities and the noise and lies, found a piece of ground under open skies, hands in the dirt, sweat on my shirt, learning what living's really worth. While crooked men shake hands in rooms, selling souls to corporate suits. Society's sick, but I found the cure. A back road life, honest and pure. They can keep their throne and their golden news. This life out here's my modern exodus. I traded screens for a sunrise, callous palms, blisters, pride, planted seeds where hope was.